because of his religion.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of those guys are pretty scared too.
Or his heritage. No, they said he can't. The Saudi Arabia said he's not allowed to go. I don't think women are allowed to do anything.
Sounds about right.
Fuck women, right? We streaming? I feel like we're streaming.
Yeah, we... I know, man. I don't think anybody's sorry.
Son of a bitch. No, but they can go back and watch it.
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't say. I said I love to fuck. I love to fuck women, is what I said.
That's what we all thought. For sure.
I'm never gonna be able to be a politician because of your podcast and your streaming.
Don't blame me for your problems, dude.
Yeah. I'm never gonna be able to run for president.
No, we'll get there. I can't run.
You can be the first white Asian to ever be president.
Yeah, but that's the worst gig to have, man. Sorry, guys. Let me. Says we're live, but I'm just trying to fix it where I can actually see it on my end. Usually, I don't have this issue on my end anymore.
Rocking and fucking rolling and fucking rocking and fucking rolling.
So that way I can see the chat, because I can't see the chat.
I gotta rig up a phone holder here.
You got a mountain clothes there.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't put it over there.
Alright, I'm on YouTube. So it looks like we are good. Says we got somebody watching us. Sorry to the one person that is here at the moment.
Probably your mom.
No, she's sleeping.
Wake her ass up. We got a game to win.
Yeah. Get up, Mom. The hell up. But we'll be talking Days Gone today, guys. Just give me one moment. It really bugs me when it doesn't load on my phone.
I saw it pop up, if it makes you feel better. It popped up as I was saying, fuck women.
What you said again? Okay, good. Okay.
I'm in too deep now, Levi. I have to go with it. Man.
Yeah. As long as if you could see it, can you see it on your phone anyway?
I can't see what.
Well, you're talking to me on your phone.
Yeah, I can't go on YouTube. Max.
It says we're live. I'm looking at it. It says right there, bam.
I think he's outside jumping on the trampoline though.
Let me just check on my.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hove.
That way I can see when you guys are chatting. I do apologize. And I'll shout out all our new subs as well. Thank you guys so much. I don't know why there's a big time. Okay, it says we're alive. I don't know why it's just not on my phone. It's like the phone gets everything later sometimes. There we go. There we go. We Gucci now.
Are you? You're super Gucci?
We Gucci.
You're the Gooch?
We Gucci. I wrote some notes down. I'm super excited to talk about this, guys.
Levi's a Gooch.
Welcome to another GG and Friends Spoilercast. But yo, what it do, GG Nation, GG Legion. It's your fella again, Strauss Man, the GG. You can see JJ right next to me. Mello was supposed to join us. Unfortunately, he will make the E3 prediction show Friday. We'll probably have him, Steve, JJ, and Chad. Be really, really fun. What's up, Kevin? Very excited to talk about this. You guys watched me beat Days Gone about 3 days ago, I think? 3 or 4 days ago?
Sunday, right?
Something like that. Shout out to the 500 plus viewers on Mortal Kombat Shang Tsung reveal trailer. Appreciate you guys. There is a combat cast with him tomorrow. We might live stream that as well. I'm going to live stream the Pokemon Direct tomorrow. And it's almost, tomorrow I think is our 2-year anniversary on the channel. We more than doubled our subs. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to our newest sub, Fairy Dust. Really appreciate you. Thanks for subbing to the GG Nation, GG Legion. Also, shout out to all our new ones from that reaction video. You guys have your stuff hidden, so I can't give you a proper shout out. But I've gained quite a few subs because of that. Thank you guys so much. A lot of our Twitch streams have been doing really, really well. Shout out to Mello and a few others that have just recently followed me on there. We were playing Rage 2 last night. I had a full Rager going. 6 to midnight. Fully raged out. But thank you guys so much. We're going to have full coverage of E3 as well. It technically starts Saturday, but we'll be doing the first I might do a little bit of E3. I mean EA Play. I'm not. It's not really a conference. So I'm not going to.
College football, baby.
I'm not going to sit here for 7 hours and watch them talk about nothing. And plus, I'm going to see X-Men. I think that day, Saturday. But we might watch a little bit of it. But the first official show will be Microsoft on Sunday. Any of the GG and friends want to hop in on Discord and watch those with me, you can. We're going to be hanging out. I'll live stream all those events. Steve's going to join me for Microsoft. We'll talk. We'll have some aftermath. Prediction show Friday. But today is going to be the Days Gone Spoilercast. Shout out to my cousin JJ. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Really excited.
Don't sleep on that EA Play, bro. NCAA football 2021.
I don't think they're going to announce that because they had their whole stream schedule.
Never gonna happen.
They had their whole stream schedule, and it looked boring as shit.
Oh, yeah, it's just going to be...
They're not going to have anything... Anyway, their conference is usually a bomb anyway. They try to get you hyped for things that are not... Well, I'm excited. We'll see. I mean... As EA fans, JJ and I are EA fans, but they are very clumsy a lot of times, and they don't really...
I don't even know if I'm a fan anymore.
Yeah.
I think I really only play one game, and it's
just Madden. Yeah. Madden and NHL is like the two we play.
Oh, NHL. They do a good job on NHL.
Yeah, we play NHL, but this is going to be Days Gone Spoilercast. We're going to gingerly talk about our overall thoughts and then just dive in deep into the game, because I really want to get in the meat. I'm 91%, about to platinum it. Really enjoyed the game, as you guys know. I know this game had huge hype, but fell off the cliff, kind of like Rage 2, fell off the hype train, and still sold really well in Europe. Like, Europe really loved this game. It outsold Mortal Kombat that first week. And I do apologize that we're a little late on this, but the game was long as shit, and I just beat it like 3 fucking days ago. It's been a month and few days since this game came out. We
play a lot of stuff on the channel, so...
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff as well, for sure.
I mean, once you get into it, you can grind it, but, it took us a while to...
Yeah, and plus my new policy, I tend to play games exclusively on the channel now.
Yeah.
Unless I'm grinding... 2K, I play that strictly pretty much offline. Or Mortal Kombat, I'm doing towers. Well, I'm not doing towers. My AI is doing fucking towers. I'm just watching.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing right now.
But that's what JJ's doing right now. Just let his AI do some work. Really hyped about... You guys seem really hyped about that Shang Tsung stuff. I meant to get you a Golden God and Friends actual episode, because I want to talk PS5, but I guess we'll just wait till after E3, and we'll talk about our E3 thoughts and all that.
We need to talk about merch.
GG and Friends.
But let's go Days Gone.
Days Gone merch. Let's start with our overall thoughts. What did you think of Days Gone? Were you on the hype train, or were you a bystander of me wanting this game?
I wasn't on the hype train till like December, I think. When E3 I saw a little bit of. I didn't even know anything about it till probably E3 last year. But no, I loved it. I had so much fun playing this game. There, obviously, it's got its flaws and whatever. Yeah. And you saw my reaction at the ending when I 6.5.
Yeah,
no, I'm sorry. 30 seconds later, I texted you back 7.5.
Yeah, you were emotional lesbian for that.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, but I really enjoyed the game. I had so much fun playing it. It truly is it's a really fun video game. It really is. It doesn't
Go ahead.
hang with it doesn't really hang with the other single player story driven Sony exclusives.
Oh, you mean this one?
It doesn't hang with that one. Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn are all better.
One? You haven't played that one.
No, but again, I'm sure
Persona,
it doesn't.
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it as Persona 5. Again, I think a game that got pushed back probably 3 or 4 times could have been pushed back again, and they could have cleaned it up.
I actually think the pushback hurt this one. It definitely hurt the hype for this one. Where Uncharted 4, it did not. Like, they pushed back Uncharted 4 like 5 fucking times, and people were just angry. Yeah. Like, I want that shit now! And you know, out of all the exclusives, this is crazy to say, out of all the exclusives, especially the most dominant ones they just released last year, they had a crazy great year last year. With Spider-Man and God of War and Detroit Become Human, like, all those games. Almost all of them took awards home. It was mostly God of War, but they were all nominated, I should say. But,
I mean, two of those are nominated for Game of the Year. So
yeah, 2 of those were not. And the year before, there was 2 nominations with Persona 5. I know they're not owned, but it's still exclusive to them. And then Horizon Zero Dawn, which it is their own studio, Guerrilla Studio.
Yeah.
The year before that, they were both nominated for Game of the Year. So I mean, back-to-back years of games, high prolific games for Game of the Year, and then we just got that Death Stranding announcement for November 8th. Huge. It's coming out.
Yeah.
Where that's another high-profile game, but probably missed the cutoff date for Game of the Year because they usually do that stuff in October.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. This game it's not as polished as those other exclusives. It doesn't have that big aura around it like it used to. Where what it does have is that great storytelling that the Sony exclusives have, where it has, generally. This is a very great, engaging story, which is the biggest reason it kept me going is because of Sarah and Deacon's relationship together. I wanted to keep going because of her, and I just love the fact that the name of the game is about her. He's counting the days without her. The days are gone. We're in day 260. He's counting where everybody's telling him, "You're an idiot. Give up." I like that. Just that little ounce kept me going. There is, like you said, there is some flaws. The game seems to fight itself a lot with the engine anyway. It seems to chug sometimes where it just it won't want to go. It just doesn't really want to go. I know a lot of people had a lot of issues with some of the mechanics where they thought the bike was way too slow in the beginning, but as soon as you upgrade your bike once or twice, that thing just hauls ass. It was super fast.
I had trouble with frame rate a little bit.
But
what I think another thing I really enjoyed is
it had a lot of glitches too. I forgot to mention that. Yeah. Go ahead.
I didn't know where the story was going to go. There was a lot of surprises where that kept me going. It wasn't super predictable to me. I don't know how you felt, but I kept playing like, what the fuck's going to happen? How is this going to
I was with you, with that third act, which we'll talk about in a second. That third act, when that shit starts and you see that particular person again, where it gets really awkward, I was like, shit, I don't know where the hell this is going to go. But kind of towards the end, where things kind of go crazy, you kind of know where it's going to go. There's still a lot of twists and turns and fake outs, but I kind of generally, towards the end of the game in my last live stream, I think it was Sunday, where we beat it, where I generally knew that we were just going to kind of Rambo it right at the end, and it was going to work out for us, generally. How they could have did that a little bit better, and we'll talk about that in a second, but to continue with my overall thoughts, there were some funny-ass glitches that happened a lot for me in this game, but for me, it added a lot of charm to the game. I remember live on stream, you guys saw me fall through the ambush camp. I just completely fell through the ambush camp. If you guys remember when they showed Uncharted on PlayStation Experience where he fell through the ground, where Nathan Drake fell through the ground, the same thing happened to me. It was super funny. I laughed. It didn't hinder me at all. The mechanics didn't hurt me. I actually really enjoyed the bike mechanics, leveling up your bike, the combat and everything like that. How'd you feel about the combat in the game?
I thought it played great. It had it has some really cool guns where you could, as you got progressed more, they had some OP guns where pretty much one shot kill.
Yeah.
The 50 cal big fucking gun was my favorite. That thing was
The BFG. You were right. That gun it just destroys people.
yeah, but I thought the bike handled really well actually. And once you got upgraded a few times, but you also it was terrain based though. You know where if you are on a slippery surface, it will slide more.
Yeah.
And all that. So I thought they did a good job with a lot of mechanics. Like I said, I had a few glitches. Not as many as you. I never fell through the floor. I had a few enemies that were half their body was above the floor, half of it was below it. So
yeah.
they'd stick through a door or something. Or like when you're fighting a horde, one would just be out by itself somewhere.
Yeah, floating.
It didn't come with it. But to me, this is probably a crazy. People are gonna hate me for this. This is a lot lesser. I want to reiterate, a lot lesser. But it felt kind of like Red Dead. Too. There's a lot
people
of
are not going to hate you. The chat
similar aspects to it.
The chat felt very much the same way. A lot of people I talked about, a lot of people that love this game as much as I do, and you do, felt the same way. It's a lot. You're right. Like you're exactly right. It's a lot lesser Red Dead, but in a lot of concepts, it is. You know, you have your base camp, your mission. You got to feed your horse, which is your bike. You know, you got to feed your horse with the bike. A lot of aspects, you know, missions. Some missions are, you know, there for fun, and some are there for big story moments. But you might have to do a few batches to get to the big story moment. Very much like Red Dead. It is. I would definitely say it's their version of Red Dead 2. Just like we said earlier, and what JJ reiterated on is just, you know, it's a lesser version, and the game fought itself way too much. You know, I would like to see it get a second chance on PlayStation 5 because we're on the eve of that anyway. I would like to see it on better hardware. I'm interested to see how well this game sold because they haven't talked like Sony was not shy about God of War, Spider-Man, or Detroit Become Human. As soon as those games came out, they're like, oh, 3.1 million sold. They didn't say a goddamn thing about it. Days Gone.
I know Mortal Kombat sold really well on every platform.
Yep.
Mortal Kombat,
but like I said, in Europe, Days Gone that outsold Mortal Kombat, which is crazy to even think.
Yeah.
Europe really loved this game, and like I said, what kept me going. What I usually play games. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you. Shout out. What up? What really gets me going and what the channel's purpose is about, and you know, sometimes I don't do a decent job of, you know, showing this, is to get outside your comfort zone a little bit and play some different games and experience some newer things that you might not like. And JJ's the epitome of that. The last 6 years, he's come a long way and played a lot of different video games that I never thought he would play. Like, it has blown my mind. And he really found out he enjoyed, because when I was much, much younger, I was the same way. I was very hard-headed with my Nintendo platformers and just want to play my Nintendo shit. Then eventually I got really into discovered Final Fantasy 7 and 10, and started to realize I like these other games. Like, holy shit, these games are awesome. You know, I get a big rap from people that know me personally. Oh, you like everything. That's the funny thing. But I just learned to come to enjoy a lot of stuff that I realized. Doesn't mean I like everything. I mean, there's a lot of shitty games out there. I mean, there's a lot of bad games that you will never see on this channel that I'll never play. But there's a lot of games that I really enjoy and really love, and it's because I've just learned to give things a shot, which I understand in the gaming hobby it's very expensive to do that. Dropping 60 bones for a game that you might not enjoy might not be good, but there's GameFly, there's streams, there's Twitch and YouTube. You can watch people play
Redbox.
Where JJ and I grow up, we had to look at the back of the Blockbuster focus camera, Blockbuster box, and just hope it was fucking good, you know. And
I played a lot of shit as a kid.
I played a lot. I ruined a lot of my weekends for sure as a 5 or 6 year old.
A lot of nights playing crappy Sega platformers. But it was one of those where I don't watch too much TV anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I never got into, you know, I intend to watch Game of Thrones, but stuff like these games like this where I put 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, you guys put what? Like Chad put like 250 hours into Persona 5 or something.
Yeah, but Chad's weird and he just leaves his game on to listen to music. There's something called YouTube. Chad, or
It's fine.
Spotify.
But
Love
it's
you,
these
Chad.
games that it's these yeah. Don't fuck with Chad. That's my boy.
Yeah.
We're the Bash Brothers. Uh,
Yep.
uh, but it's these kind of games where my wife was sitting here watching me play. It's the only game she's ever watched me play for a little bit. And I was referring to Deacon as me,
Yeah.
and she thought that was hilarious. So I think I was trying to get his dick wet or something. It was something with Sarah. I was just like, "Come on, let's get laid, bro." I'm trying to get laid, and then
But
so
that's the testament of the acting in this game, because I feel like the acting wasn't phoned in this game. There's a lot of high quality acting, and it makes you feel like you're Deacon. Like live on stream, I'm like, oh yeah, we got to go do this because I felt like I was Deacon too.
Well, that's a sign of a great game, and it's what makes me appreciate video games. Video games is a very young art form. You know, it's compared to television and movies. Where I can go watch a TV show. My favorite's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I watch it, but I never feel like one of them. Where I play God of War or Days Gone or Spider-Man or Last of Us, and you're sucked in, man. It's like binge watching a show.
Yes.
But it's more intimate to me. So
You're right about that.
I loved this game, and I loved the story. There are glitches. The only trouble I had with and it wasn't voice acting, but it's when you go to like a shop, and I think a lot of video games have this.
Yeah, they have the same line over and over again. Yeah,
where it's but even then they would kind of mix in conversations. You could leave them, but they try to get you into conversations and stuff. So this game had enough big twists to keep you going. There's one huge one that I didn't see coming at all.
Yeah, we'll dive in right in a second.
Yeah, but it was fun. I had a lot of fun.
You're absolutely right about gaming in general being a very early art form, but it's the most dominant thing now for a lot of people. Like gaming it makes more money than movies now, which is crazy to even think. You know, sometimes companies are dumping $100 million in video games and stuff like that. Like the budget for Days Gone was ridiculous. I was watching Sam. I think it's Sam Witwer, the actor that plays Deacon.
Mm-hmm.
If he looks familiar to you, it's because he was the lead actor for Star Wars Force Unleashed. They used his face.
Yeah.
That's him. So he does a lot of Star Wars stuff. He does a lot of voices for the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
But he has his own Twitch channel. Shout out to you. And him playing so he was talking a little bit, and he said the first 9 months he was very moody in this game because he never had a big budget game like this before. Because he would come in on set and he's like, "Where the fuck is this shit going?" And the director would be like, "Dude, we're just fucking around. We're experimenting. We're seeing what's working. We're seeing what's going on." And then he's like, after that first 9 months, when I started to see their vision and picture, I was like, oh, okay, I got it. Because he talked about the budget, and he's like, "What's this Sony? What's Sony mean?" And he's like, "Oh shit, I didn't realize how big Sony was." You know, some of these voice actors and actors don't know that, obviously, and. He said the budget for Force Unleashed was like this, and then it shrunk to that. And he's like, that was fine for that game, and it did really, really well. And then he's like, for number 2 though, the budget was like right here and shrunk to right here, and it just didn't turn out well. But he said for this game, Sony gave him so much leeway just to experiment and have a lot of fun. And once he got into it, he stopped being an emotional lesbian about it and got really into his character and really enjoyed it.
Sony's made enough money on their games where they can kind of, and not just games. Sony's huge,
Sony, I give a lot of credit to as well. They are coming out swinging. They try to make every game a hit. They give it their best part.
They got a lot of big
My only question
studios.
for this game is I'm just shocked they didn't use the Decima engine or borrowed God of War's engine or somebody else's engine for this game, because that seemed to be like the biggest factor was the engine in this game. It just wasn't running properly, and I think that's why it was delayed so much, because they were trying to figure out how to get this fucker to work, and it just, to me, that seems like the biggest problem with the game is the engine.
I could see that. I think their mechanics were solid. I think
because everything is solid. Story structure, everything is solid. And actually, we'll talk about the end. It kind of feels like a lot of stuff were cut out a little bit. Well, we'll talk about that. Let's get into the characters. If you have any more to say?
No, I just enjoyed it. I did.
Yeah. I really I had a lot of fun. Like, this is the reason why I kept playing it, guys. I didn't play it for, to pretend to finish it. I played it because I really damn enjoyed the game. I love the story.
I've been playing Rage 2 a little bit, and I was more excited for Rage 2 than Days Gone.
Yeah.
Days Gone is head and shoulders better than Rage 2. It just...
I'm having fun with Rage. I played Rage 2 yesterday. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I enjoyed the game, but I could really tell the story is complete garbage in Rage 2.
It's just...
And it's sad. Because I had a lot of hype for that game like you. And the fact that we couldn't play together kind of hurt, too.
That's it tried to be Borderlands and it failed, but... All right, let's stay on topic. I gotta keep you ready.
Let's talk about the characters. Let's talk about some of our favorite characters. Let's start with the main character, Sam Witwer himself. Deacon St. John of the Mongrel fame. What'd you think of us, Deacon?
At first I thought he was kind of a douchebag.
Yeah, I get that vibe a lot.
He came off. I didn't really like him or Boozer that much to begin with at all, and then I think that's a lot of video games. I feel that that the guy you play as, you got to be able to like him if you're gonna be him.
Yeah.
So as I went on, you kept doing missions, and it was
what's up, Max?
Fun.
Did you say douchebag?
Yeah, don't say that. You're on YouTube.
Seth is watching you.
Where's Seth? All right. Anyway, but I ended up loving Deacon. Yeah, I thought he was a great character, kind of a martyr. Like, oh, fine, I'll do this, or he's going to all these camps He's playing every side. Like he's himself, but he's playing every side at the same time.
He's described as a drifter, and that's the perfect name for him.
Yeah. He, Deacon was he's just fun. It was I liked his look. I liked when he took off the cut, I didn't like him as much. I didn't like that look of just I like their logo, the manga.
Yeah, I like the Son and Anarchy. Like, this game is very much like Son and Anarchy and Walking Dead, like boned and I kind of kid.
For sure.
That's kind of what it is. What'd you think of his performance, though? Do you think he did a good job? Himself?
He nailed it, man. He nailed it. It was I think all the voice actors did a great job, because now everything's not just voice acting anymore. You're getting the little
balls on the face.
You get the dodge, you get a ton of balls on your face. So
Sony's really into that. They're really into the mocap and the camera and the balls on the face stuff. That's why their games look so good, is because you actually get the actor's facial performance with it. They don't have to put a fake plastic face on. Like, they have their legit face. And that's why, Joel and Ellie look so good in their performances and stuff like that, because it's actually Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson's face, and a lot of stuff. And Kratos, the same thing, where he described how that was a different experience for him. Being a TV actor and a movie actor, him going and dedicating 4 or 5 years of his time to play Kratos. Christopher Judge nailed it with that. That was a really great performance as well. So, I really like Deacon St. John. I kind of like the Son of Anarchy look, and the flashbacks I thought did a pretty good job. I think that maybe they flashbacked a little too much sometimes with him and Sarah's story.
And it was slow too. You couldn't you had to walk.
Yeah.
And I get you're trying to build a character, and I'm trying not to be too harsh on that, because you do want to show their relationship and why he cared so much.
Yeah, why he wants to keep going, where everybody else wants to give up.
I don't know if they totally nailed it.
Yeah.
But, it was good. It was good. The flashbacks were good, but, I think you either make it more important, because she always seemed to be, in trouble, I think one flashback. I think the first one.
Yeah.
With the bike. But I think him giving her his motorcycle ring is bigger deal than a lot of people made it.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal. Him going nomad for her was a big deal. There's a lot of things that you might understand better than I would, because of your father.
Yeah.
But I did like the Sons of Anarchy feel, like you said. I love that show, and I did like the feel of it, and his character. He did. The actor did very well.
I think Sam did a great performance, and it's cool to watch these guys play the game, because they're acting it out, because a lot of actors don't play the game. That's like one of the biggest disappointments for me watching like Persona interviews and stuff. Is like a lot of them don't play the game. Like, but they'll read like 400,000 lines of the game, but they won't play the game. You know, because they're actors and that's their job and shit. But it was cool to see Sam like play this game and like speak about how different the scene. And I think he did such a great job in the direction. And you know, it's a shame that a lot of people didn't want to catch on to their vision because they're like, oh, it's just another zombie game. But Freakers are very unique. They're alive and they breed and they shit everywhere and they evolve constantly, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But I think Sam did a really, really great job with Deacon. I always kind of liked Deacon from the get-go, and I kind of understood where he was coming from, where he's just like, I don't really want to do this shit for you, but I'll do it because I got to, and I'm kind of hands behind my back. You know, it was such a bummer that him and Boozer are trying to ride up north right away to get away from this shit, and then Copeland strips his fucking bike, and then he just, you know, he starts losing his shit a little bit on that. Then he ends up working for But I kind of like the encampment stuff and all that. Let's talk about the Booze Man. What you think of Boozer? Because several times in this game, there's a big fake out about Boozer, like 8 fucking times. But
yeah, I felt really bad when he got his arm burnt to fuck. Oh my
god!
You're trying to take care of him. He's kind of a tragic story that ends up all right. Like he ends
up finding a new purpose in life.
Yeah, and he gets redeemed, and he could have went down the suicide road so many times, and he didn't. And that's kind of Deacon and his thing. They just won't die.
What's up, LG? We really don't do ratings on the show. JJ gave it a 7.5. I will also give it a 7.5 as well. I think easily could have been a 9 if the engine ran, and that was the biggest problem for me, was the engine and a little bit of story stuff we'll talk about right at the end. But that was the biggest flaw for me. It's just the game was kind of fighting itself a lot. But damn it, I had fun playing.
Yeah. Boozer is a good sidekick, if you want to call him that.
Yeah.
But they are a surviving bunch. They don't know how to quit. They don't know how to
had
just die.
A death wish so many times, especially when he first lost his arm.
Yeah.
I like the Booze Man a lot. I thought it was really cool. It was really, like you said, he was a great a side character for you as well. And he ends up he's actually a really damn good friend. He was the only friend there for their wedding where their families weren't there at all. Like, he's a really good friend. And it's kind of the brotherment of a biker club, too. Like, you know, your bros, like your brothers, you know, and they're the only 2 surviving members of their biker club. There's no reason for them to wear the colors anymore, but they still do it because they're assholes. Because they're dickheads, you know.
Yeah.
And the days are gone. I don't know if they ever explain why there's no cars anymore or anything, but it seems like bikes are the main transportation in this.
Yeah, I don't know if they use less fuel or I can only remember one, like it was the truck at the end is the only thing I can remember.
Yeah.
The vehicle being used.
Yeah.
Like there's ton of cars everywhere that they could easily just fix.
Yeah, the thing about a bike too is there's a lot of freedom on a bike. You can get through a lot around and stuff. Or a car, you're fucked. Like you're fucked if you don't.
Cars were used more as barricades.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, I thought the Booze Man, I thought the actor did a great job. I thought he was good. Let's talk about probably one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character. Let's talk about Ricky. She used to ride with them. And you end up meeting her about a quarter away in, I would say, probably. You know, when you go back to Iron Mike's camp, which your last words to Iron Mike before you went back to his camp was, fuck you. Fuck you, old man, you old fucker.
Eat a dick.
But let's talk about Ricky and what you think of Ricky and a little bit of the, you know, emotion and romance a little bit. You saw she's swinging one way, but she was kind of swinging both ways.
Yeah, she was there's a lot of tension between her and Deacon. That could have went, if it's not for his like newfound purpose to find Sarah because he found new information, he would have probably hooked up with Ricky for sure. But yeah,
that's what I believe too, but I don't know, man. He seemed very loyal.
I get that, but it's
I mean,
man,
she pushed hard. She's like, Deke, I'm not married. You know, we could.
yeah,
And he was like,
yeah. I'm not a lesbian. I'm bisexual. Get it
Yeah.
straight.
Well, it was
And I
funny
will
because when you
fuck
first
you.
hang out with her, you do the first couple missions with her, and he's like, you know, me and Boozer ride with you for like 2 years and nothing happened. So he's just like, I kind of saw you and Addie being like that, and she's like, oh, it's just kind of how it meant. So I didn't know. I really thought she was just. But then you know, there's a lot of tension.
There's a
missions
lot
and
of
stuff.
tension, but Ricky's very helpful. She's a badass.
Yeah.
You know, they keep. I'm not against it. Like you do need to keep pushing more female characters,
Yeah.
not just for representation, but you know, there's a lot of badass women out there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you should. And this is a case where it didn't seem forced.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where she was just genuinely a badass.
Yeah, she was just really cool character. I really, and she was willing to do stuff Deacon wasn't willing to do. And she was the only one really upset, where everyone else kind of understood why he left the camp, but she was super pissed about it. She did not like that he left.
Yeah, she didn't want him to go after Sir.
Go get your lady, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike was pissed a little bit too, but for other reasons. But yeah.
And great segue. Ricky was one of my favorites. She was probably my favorite.
I know she was Levi's favorite.
I really enjoyed the missions with her. I thought she was a really fun character. That twist with her being, I thought she was, you know, straight Ellie, but she ends up, you know, being, you know, a little bit of both ways, which I thought was really cool. And I thought her and Deke had great chemistry together. Like their scenes together had really good chemistry, and I really liked it. And she she was a badass, and she was willing to do what it takes to get to camp. I just remember, you know, like them teasing that she wanted to get a hot shower all the time, and Deke's like, "Well, fucking fix it eventually. I got shit to go on. I gotta go meet O'Brien and all that," which is really fun. But let's talk about Iron Mike. What'd you think of Iron Mike? Did you think he was too soft? Because a lot of people thought, you know, the way he handled his camp was very idiotic. What'd you feel about Iron Mike?
He was my favorite camp leader. He was. I kind of agreed with it. I mean, he saw some shit go down in that school, and he didn't want to. He didn't want there to be like you only did violence if you had to. If you're protecting
he didn't
yourself.
like that at all. He didn't like.
It wasn't. It was never. And sometimes you do have to be proactive, like. But that I think it's his biggest flaw is if he wasn't proactive. But everybody kept, and he wasn't good at necessarily getting followers to follow him.
Yeah.
Well, two of them mainly, where they would just go behind his back and fuck shit up. Like if they don't go by.
Yeah, but trusting that guy was not smart, and we'll talk about that asshole in a little bit. Something happened?
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin's fucking around. But I thought Iron Mike was a good character. He was seemed like a hard ass with a heart of gold.
Yeah, it was funny. He mentioned how he didn't like kids, but he still wanted to have homes for the kids at the camp and stuff like that. I liked Iron Mike a lot. I thought he was a really well put character. Out of all the camp people, he's the best in my opinion. Even better than the Colonel. I thought he was a well-put character, and it was a bummer at the end, which we'll talk about later. Let's talk about the waifu. Let's talk about Sarah Whitaker. And we can get right into spoilers. We're deep enough in spoilers. She ends up being alive.
Yeah.
But what'd you think of Sarah's overall character?
I thought... I want to know, did she always have those tattoos? Because she did in the whole... I think she did. When they met,
she always, ever since you first met her, she had those tattoos. But it's funny how you said it. Tell the chat what you said to me about her tattoos.
I don't even remember. It seemed forced. It seemed like a...
Yeah, they were like fake. Like they were like glued on.
Yeah. It's like... It only goes from the... Like, I know they're both sleeves, but she has two of them, and she doesn't seem like...
a person to get that, right?
Yeah,
because he seems like the all-out biker asshole, and she seems like the good, sweet country girl.
Yeah, but the way she was raised, maybe it was a rebellion thing, but that character design was kind of weird to me. Like it seemed like
You'll
it was
understand. You have a daughter. She'll be all inked.
Well, that's fine. As long as it says I heart dad on it.
Aww. Aww.
But
and then on the other side, I love my cousin.
Yeah. She should just get a picture of me and you on her back. Just full like Steve-O.
Yeah.
The full Steve-O. But I liked her arc. It was super awkward when you first meet her again. It was very.
I think they did that on purpose, though.
Yeah, it was more of a like. They both were kind of like, "Holy fuck, you're still alive!"
Yeah.
You know, and they were trying to get adjusted to because she kisses him right away, like she does.
And then she's like, "Get the fuck off me!"
Yeah, it's like it was more of a business type relationship. It was. Hey, I need you to get this for me.
I was like, you called it right away. Like you and your wife. Shout out to Becky. You and your wife called it right away. She was alive from the get-go. I didn't have that feeling. I always thought she was dead, because I'm an idiot. But
well, I think that could have been a compelling story too.
Yeah.
Where you get there and she's just dead.
Yeah.
And all this hope is just gone, and then I don't know. I'm not a writer, but I think it would have been
that second or third time where Brian gives you the information that she's like, and he remembers that she has like level 4 clearance or whatever.
Well, she was
government clearance. Like she was alive. Like I knew that then.
Yeah.
The first one was a fake out where he's like, oh no one made that encampment's dead. It got ran over or whatever
by the militia.
I thought I really liked Sarah in the beginning. I really loved her. The whole game about her, all the flashbacks I loved. I hated her when we saw her again. And I think it was on purpose, like you said. I think it was supposed to feel awkward and you're not supposed to be able to look each other in the eye because, you're supposed to move on. And there was a lot of funny moments, especially with Weaver, where Weaver's like, yeah, I tried to hit that once. And Deacon's like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah.
And what happened? And her not giving herself up too, shows love, but she comes around at the end finally. Like she comes around at the end and she's good old Sarah again. I really enjoyed her. We'll speed through some of the characters. Let's talk about probably the main two antagonists. Let's talk about not Skizzle, I'm sorry. Skizzo. And let's talk about the Colonel. What'd you think of Skizzo and the Colonel?
I always had a bad feeling about Skizzo. I didn't know it was going to turn out like it did, but this guy's he's going to fuck me over somehow.
Yeah.
I thought once you left him, he was done. You're done with him. Once he got kicked out of the Iron Mike's camp.
Me too. That was a great fake out.
Yeah. Skizzo was probably the number 3 / number 2. Him and Ricky were kind of just under Iron Mike, and he was kind of the enforcer.
Well, he was number 2 for sure. He was Iron Mike's co-op guy.
Yeah. So, he
was just the idiot. I just don't know why anyone trusted him.
Yeah, Skizzo sets you up to. We can just spoil everything now, right?
Yeah, Spoilercast.
Yeah. So Skizzo sets you up to fucking, Carlos, who is the head of the Ripper.
There's a clan in this game.
The Rippers.
Yep.
They worship the freaks. They think the freaks are what all humans should be, and they're pure. They shave themselves bald. They cut the fuck out of themselves.
Yeah, they put RIP, R.I.P. right on their head.
Carved. Some of those were tough encampments too. The Rippers were probably some of the harder. They had that one big dude.
The last 3 you had to do. Flame. The last 3 Ripper ambush camps were all 20 each too. They were all 20.
Yeah.
20 peeps.
So Skizzo sets you up. You got to go get. First you got to go get antibiotics from a plane crash, and then he. What were you gonna? I forgot what were you gonna do the second time where he set you up? You go to they're in a golf course. You go in the
tunnel as well to get dynamite.
Yeah.
TNT.
Oh yeah.
Well, tell them who's Carlos.
Carlos ends up being the only other member of the Mongrel clan alive, or the Mongrel MC. Jesse Williams, and he was a disgraced member who got his tattoo burnt off his back.
And he had a whole back tat. So the thing about the Mongrels in a biker culture, sometimes you get your stuff tatted, you got the colors tatted on you. But when you get kicked out of the club, your colors are ripped off and they're taken away from you.
Yeah.
And since his was tatted on the back, they kind of held him down and burned it off, which is not a really nice thing. And the thing I love about Deacon so much is that he's not a goody two shoes.
No.
No. He does what it takes, and he's not proud of that moment. He admits he's not proud of that moment, but it had to be done.
He does have sympathy for Jesse.
Yeah.
Because when you go tear off those Ripper, the RIP sermons, you go shut those down. He does, I hope you do rest in peace, Jesse, or all this other shit. But
yeah, he does say that.
Yeah, but Skizzo is a piece of shit. He sets you because Jesse just wants. The whole war is about just getting Boozer. and Deacon. He ends up. It's his clan that burns Boozer's arm off.
And he actually burned.
And he got Deacon's arm.
Yeah, he burned Deacon's arm. The one thing I loved about Iron Mike as well is that he didn't give up on those kids.
Yeah.
Those two. He didn't give up on Boozer and Deacon. He's like, if you want them, you gotta take them. Like, that was really cool.
So then, Skizzo sets you up, and Jesse ends up fucking kidnapping you, tying you up, burning some of your tattoos off.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up.
And then there's another twist with Skizzo at the end, where he ends up being in the Colonel's encampment, the militia. And
he sets you up again.
I'm like, what the? Yeah. I'm like, I thought I was done with you.
Yeah.
Because Skizzo is the one guy I really despised. He was such a great antagonist because I was telling the chat the whole time, camera, focus, shit. I was telling the chat the whole time. I was like, this is so sketch to me. I do not trust this tunnel with this guy.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna leave me to die, and it wasn't there. That was a fake out. It ends up being where you go.
Yeah, I had a bad feeling
from Ripper territory, and that's what he fucks you over.
Yeah, bad feeling about him from jump.
Yeah, I didn't trust him from the get go. Let's talk about the Colonel now. What'd you think of the Colonel? The other kind of pseudo antagonist, I guess to say.
I thought he was a great antagonist. He was he seemed like he's one of those Bible thumping, everything God we're gonna do Noah's Ark, but also very, 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 like most leaders, hypocritical.
Yeah.
He doesn't buy it.
But
and
he
also,
had a big following. Those guys.
Yeah.
Sarah
he set him up on a big
finger.
And then he came up with the slash and burn type method where they're just going to burn everything and rebuild. But he, I guess if I had one question for Ben Studios, if anybody from Ben Studios watches it, did he fuck Sarah? Is there something there? Because I always had a feeling that I know you had a different feeling. You thought he was.
I'll talk about my feeling in a second.
But I always thought there was something between him and Sarah. I always thought there was something more there. She's the only one who calls him Matt. Yeah. She's the only one. He gave her a gun. Like Deacon, I know Deacon felt it too. And
yeah, I honestly didn't get that vibe. Maybe I'm just a little naive. I just didn't see it that way. I thought he was. I thought when we got into that third act in that encampment, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna get weird. This is gonna get fucking weird, especially when you find Sarah alive and doing all these missions. This is not gonna be an easy road for Deacon, even though he's so much skilled than everybody else. Because their whole encampment, they were, trash. But he really valued the people that were quote unquote irreplaceable. And Dr. Jimenez treated, Deacon and Deacon. He wanted to go riding with Deacon and hang out with Deacon, and the Colonel was like no. But there was this one scene before Jimenez. We are in the spoiler territory. Jimenez is killed by fucking Taylor out of all people, out of all fucking people.
Taylor, if you didn't know, is the he came in with Deacon into the militia at the same time, but he's a junkie and he's just.
There was a lot of foreshadowing of him being a junkie, and I didn't pay attention enough. I kind of missed a lot.
Yeah, yeah, he was very spacey, man.
Yeah.
He was. You knew something was wrong, and
I thought he was just trying to be funny. I thought that's what he was trying to do, but in reality, that was just his junkie side, where he was just losing his mind.
And a lot of sympathy for him. He
went out.
He went out looking, trying to help the militia out by but really he was just trying to steal drugs.
Yes. Yeah.
He was. I think these guys stole some drugs. I'm going to follow them. And like you said,
That was a big foreshadowing hint. Yeah.
Hindsight being what it is, you're like, oh shit, he was just trying to steal drugs. He gets his ear chopped off, and yeah, him to be the one to kill the only fucking doctor left.
Yeah, and that's when the Colonel becomes the antagonist. He loses his shit. The thing about it was an interesting scene for me. It'd be interesting to see how you guys interpret it. Like, was it, Sarah and Colonel Matt? Did they have something together, or was it, Matt playing for the other team with Jimenez, because he grabbed Jimenez and he was like, and because Deacon, the reason why I only mention this is because Deacon has such a weird look on his face. He was like, what the, like, because he wanted to go riding with Deacon in the shit, which is what they call, the wasteland,
the shit,
or whatever. Yeah. If you're not in an encampment, you're not safe. That's how they feel. Like, if you're going out in the shit, that's what they call it. And that's what, like, drifter work and stupid, farming work and stuff like that, which is not safe to do. But he's like, no, if anything, he just said it so sensually. He was like, if anything happened to you, I just don't know what to do. But maybe I was just seeing something different. But just Deacon's reaction, though, it just kind of threw me off. And I was like, wait, are they boning?
I took it as he's the only fucking doctor left. We can't lose him.
Yeah. That totally could be it, too. It's just
how I felt.
I just wouldn't have said it that way. I'd be like, hey, you were the only fucking doctor. You shut the fuck up and you stay here. I wouldn't be like, I don't know what I'd do without you. I don't know what to... I'll say that to you because I love you. But if I'm talking to Jimenez, I'd be like, you're a fucking idiot. You stay here and do your job.
What? You're the host, but when
Go
you
ahead.
first get in,
I'll switch it to you. Tag.
Oh yeah, the hot tag. When you first got into the campment, the militia, the first one, when you first meet Corey, what did you think? Because he's wearing your ring.
What? That's a great question, because I thought he. I originally, when I saw that ring, I thought he was part of the mongrels. For whatever reason, that was my first thing in the head. But then I'm like, wait, why wouldn't he why wouldn't he know? But I took it as, there could be other chapters of the mongrels. There could be mongrels in other states and stuff. Because some biker gangs, Hell's Angels and stuff are huge. They're everywhere. Yeah. And that's kind of how I took it as first. And I had a really bad feeling about Corey, but Corey ended up being a really cool guy.
This is the only time in the game where I thought Sarah was dead.
When you saw that ring, like they killed Sarah.
Yeah, that's what I think, because the militia overran that camp that she was at, and that's the only time I was like, oh fuck, he killed. That's the only time I thought she was dead, and I think that was the purpose of it.
Yeah,
is to
that was a great twist too.
Keep you going.
Yeah,
like, oh man, you got all the way here, and she's fucking. She does.
But I like the fact he saw you kissing her, and he could have ratted your ass out, but he didn't.
No,
because he kind of saw Corey, the Colonel kind of.
I was
going cuckoo.
He seemed very shady at first. Yeah, and then he ends up being a really. He was one of the better dudes in the game. Like he was one of my favorite characters. He, the whole bike ride talking about his wife and you lie. This is another thing where I think people are just stupid. All right, so Deacon lies. I think this is where storytelling and not being so obvious can help you. But so Deacon lies to Corey saying he doesn't have a picture of his wife. She's dead. Her name was Beth. He has Sarah tattooed on his fucking. I mean, it could have been his daughter or somebody. He has Sarah.
Yep.
Anybody could have been like, who's Sarah? Who the fuck's Sarah then? Yeah. And he could have lied and said it was his daughter or something else. But I was just like, man, everyone's like, no one ever like says anything about his tattoo.
Yeah, that's blatantly obvious. That's right there. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. I really like what you did. Let's talk about probably the main antagonist in a way. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about O'Brien. We didn't talk about O'Brien at all, and he's a pretty important character, especially that spoiler at the end.
Yeah. He's the key cog that gets you to Sarah. He is one of the main, because he's really what triggers these flashbacks. When you go see him, then a flashback happens. So you have to go find we got to go listen to these researchers who are talking about it. I never figured out why he couldn't just listen to it, why he needed to know all this shit. But I think the end kind of.
Well, he ends up being he doesn't like working for Nero. Like,
yeah.
The top tier Nero guys we never see, but clearly they're in power.
Yeah.
And they have things going on, but I like.
They started the whole
Deacon,
freak virus.
Deacon yelling at O'Brien like, because I'd be like, you stupid science bitch.
Yep.
Just tell me what my life is.
Stupid
son
science.
of a bitch, you stupid.
Yeah.
And I like,
Yeah,
Deacon gives a lot of great one-liners to O'Brien. He really twists the knife on O'Brien, makes him feel guilty a lot. And O'Brien ends up being a really good dude and actually helping you out.
He does a lot. Every time you do an O'Brien mission, you get a little bit more and a little bit more, and it triggers. Only if you had level 3 or 4, or only if you had level 4 access or whatever, could you be on one of these choppers. And then Deacon's like, oh shit, she did. She worked at Cloverdale. She ended up helping making the freak virus.
That's what I thought too. In a lot of ways, I thought she was. That was the one thing I thought, because she kept being secretive about her job, and I was like, she probably made.
She did and she didn't. I feel like she set the groundwork without knowing that she set the groundwork, and
she thought she was doing something better for the world.
Yeah, so that's how I figured it to be. But yeah, O'Brien was huge. That last scene at the end was, so it made me think why all these Nero agents are wearing, like, they're the only ones wearing all this shit.
Yeah.
No one else, everyone else is just walking around fine, not turning into freaks. But every Nero agent has this big fucking hazmat suit on, and you find out why at the end. It was crazy. I was
well,
really.
He mentioned several times. We get to learn, and it's because of him. We learn a lot about the Freakers. A lot. Mm-hmm. We learn that they kind of act like a hive. They have like they act like wasps and ants, and they communicate that way. They evolve. They eat. They eat anything. They eat meat.
Yeah.
They're omnivores. They eat greens and cabbage and trees and stuff. But it
proved that they could survive after they killed all the humans. After they ate everything the humans, they're still going to be there.
Yeah, they still could survive, and they would be the dominant species. Also, they have some semblance of memory of their human life. If they find something they like jewelry or something, they might grab it. They might not know why they technically grabbed it, but that's kind of resemblance of their human life, and that they have a brain and they think. And that's the one thing. This is kind of a major bummer that the people, just say, oh, it's just another zombie game and stuff. But no, the Freakers are living creatures. They are beings that evolve, and it's not a typical post-apocalyptic zombie game that everyone calls. They're not dead, is what I'm saying. They're alive.
Mm-hmm.
They're breathing. They're breeding. They're shitting. They're fucking, which is breeding. But I had to say.
I'm glad you said it twice.
I had to say it twice.
That's the most important thing.
They're kind of the main antagonists of the series, I guess, of the game a little bit. But what'd you think of the Freakers in general?
I like their design. I like the story behind them. I like how they can survive without us.
Bless you.
Thank you. They are.
You finally beat it? Yeah, I beat it Sunday, Joel.
They are like a clan. They are hordes of them, and like you said, getting to know that they do fancy jewelry or clothes or something. They do kind of hold on to that, and I think it also helped fill in the world. Some games, like right now with Rage 2, kind of when you're driving around, there's nothing. You kind of drive where there's always kind of a wolf attacking you, or there's a horde. There's got to be like 100 hordes or something. Like they're everywhere. Like you can.
And that first horde in the story mission is one of the craziest fucking things. This is where the game got a lot of hype. Was that first?
There's got to be at least
600.
800. I think I got 743 years from her or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of running around. Hopefully,
there was almost 800. Yeah, it was crazy.
But it was. It sucks when you're in the middle of just a simple, I gotta talk to this guy mission, and then a horde just spawns. Like, it's crazy how
that was part of the glitch too. Yeah.
They just.
I just talked to O'Brien one mission, and then a horde came in and just killed. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they just spawn out of nowhere. And I actually kind of liked it. It kind of kept you on your toes. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
They could just
Keep
be
you on
anywhere,
your
man.
toes.
Yeah.
Um,
But I thought they did a good job with the freakers. I think all their little like the rippers too. I like the rippers. You know how they, they kind of worship the freakers and they want to be like them, and they never attack freakers. They've never
they only attack humans.
Yep. And I don't. Did the freakers attack them though?
Yeah, freakers don't care.
They could have told. Well, yeah, freakers attack the freakers. Like what was the one? A reacher. The reacher
Reachers
always like
fight
I would
other freakers. Breakers fight them.
Yeah, I would always just sit back and let them kill
guys.
Them. Yeah,
and stuff, which are really cool. I was hoping to see some more
variation. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, which they kind of like. I think what they could do for the second one, which we'll talk about in the end of the spoiler cast. Let's get into our favorite story moments and go from there. What was some of your biggest moments in this game that you really enjoyed, and what was some of the stuff that you were kind of like story-wise could have been done better?
I think my favorite were I liked a lot. I like the. I really like the O'Brien missions. I thought it gave you a lot of useful information and stuff. Hanging out with Ricky was good. Anything you did with her, like I don't like her as much as you did, but she was a great character.
Yeah. I like that dam mission. That dam mission was one of my favorites with her.
My favorite story missions though were the hordes. I had fun fighting the horde. Yeah. At first they were annoying because you weren't prepared for them. You know, once you get better weapons and the napalm.
Oh, the napalm helps you so much.
Then like you can breeze through a lot of the easier ones. But
if you wait till morning when they're all in a cave, throw a regular attractor and then a napalm, you'll kill them all. It's crazy.
But story wise, I liked most of the shit with Sarah and the Colonel.
Yeah.
You know I liked a lot of story beats. The Rippers was finding out that was a mongrel.
Jesse. Finding out that was a big twist.
Jesse, you know Skizzo's motivation was to save the camp.
Yeah. And Jesse, eventually take it over. He wanted it because he knew Iron Mike's getting old and he would eventually take over.
Yeah, and Jesse's motivation of just pure revenge was it was a good twist. It was a nice little touch to it. So that's probably one of my favorites is trying to sneak through there and get and then catching up with someone we didn't talk about, Lisa.
That was what I was going to bring up. That was one of my favorite story moments.
Yeah, Lisa was a heartbreaking tale, man.
Yeah.
This little girl turned into a ripper and then that was a heartbreaking one.
Yeah, I love that. Like I feel so bad because you think you save her because she's like in Ripper Town.
Yeah.
You save her and then you put her with Tucker and Tucker works people to death and shit.
Yeah, Tucker's another character.
So you put her in Iron Mike's hand and then she runs away again and I'm like, oh my god, are we ever going to see her again? And when you see her again as a Ripper, it just broke my heart. Yeah. I'm like, oh shit. And then she saves you. And then you have a nice ending where he's like, I'll introduce you to my brother Boozer and my friend, my wife, Sarah. You remind me a lot of her little sister. That I really like Lisa. That was some of my favorite story moments. Some of my favorite ones were like Ricky as well. I really enjoyed Ricky. I liked that. I like those ending missions setting up to kill the Colonel or take down the like Rambo style where you're preparing the truck and stuff.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of those missions a lot where you see Manny again, you save him from the Rager and the anarchist clan or whatever that kidnapped him or whatever. I liked that mission. There was a lot of great story missions I really enjoyed. I wouldn't say they're as great as Red Dead, but there was some great story beats that I really enjoyed. First fighting, meeting O'Brien again for such a long time and discovering the Reacher. That was a great story mission. I'm like, what the hell are we getting into here? What's going on? I know there's something new.
Yeah.
And that was a really fun one. What's some of the dislikes you had with the story? What was some of the stuff you did?
Well, there's the one mission where that reminded me of Red Dead the most when you're riding your bike up the mountain.
Yeah, very Red Dead. Very Red Dead.
Yeah, that scene reminded me of Red Dead a lot. So that one that one I didn't mind that, but a lot of the missions where you just go talk to Tucker, and it was just you talking to
Tucker
her.
seemed to be very much a useless character. Like
Yeah,
a lot of her stuff seemed cut out. I think
the only purpose I really seen of her was getting
Lisa.
Lisa.
Yeah.
You know, her knowing Lisa and that. That's all I can think of Tucker. But yeah, I didn't really like Tucker's camp at all.
Yeah.
Copeland was alright, but Tucker's camp I didn't really care for.
Radio Free Oregon.
Yeah.
God damn it, Cope.
Yeah. Yeah, he always had something to say afterward, like you could hear. But, you know, yeah, I didn't really like. I didn't mind the driving to.
What's up,
camp,
Seth? I know you're watching.
Sarah.
What's up?
But driving to see Sarah's Rock was all right. Like, not every time, but.
That was some of my favorite stuff, actually, was Sarah's Rock. I like, actually, that moment a lot where he kind of talks to her and is like I did this today. Boozer lost his arm today. I actually really like those moments a lot. I thought those were really sweet. Even though he thought she died there, but, you know, she's not actually buried there or anything. But
when he crosses it out, that was pretty cool.
That was a big moment of him letting go.
Yeah.
And then he kind of gets sucked back in again because O'Brien's like, "Hey, yo, I got some shit."
Yeah, once he finds out that she's like clearance level 4.
I don't know if I had any particular missions I did. Maybe, like you said, maybe some of Tucker's stuff. Like Tucker just didn't really seem useful as much compared to the other camps. I wouldn't say
story
like
beats
a lot of the like your initiation mission with Corey was really cool. I kind of liked that one a lot, where he's like, you got to save prison girl. I forgot her name. Like prison girl.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember her name either. She ended up being
the death at the end, but she was really cool.
You ended up letting her go.
Yeah,
and,
he has. I just need your ring. You can go free.
Yep.
He ends up being, like Deacon. Actually, he acts like a big badass, but he's kind of a big soft teddy bear on the inside a lot of the time. Especially when it comes to Lisa and Ricky and Boozer. Like he goes out of his way for Boozer to the point where a lot of people would say, you know, he loves Boozer more than his wife. You know,
that's his brother, yeah.
He left his wife with Nero and stayed with Boozer to get Boozer out of the city.
Yeah.
You know?
I
don't know. I'm trying to think of some missions I didn't like, but I didn't really have any.
There was a lot of.
You know, the only thing I could say negative-wise that you and me would talk about that we really didn't like about the game was all the boss battles kind of just sucked. They were
not good. Like, they were not good. I feel like the ending was rushed a little bit. I know it's hard, like a 40-hour game or however long it took us, but the ending seemed a little too like the Boozer part of the ending really bummed me out. Where I don't know, it just didn't. It seemed very rushed. Like they had to cut something that.
I definitely feel like there was a lot cut in this game because you were supposed to have a lot of choice in this game originally. You were supposed to have some choice, but they changed that completely. They kept it more streamlined and just did the story. Probably because of the engine and how it's in. But like you said, it definitely feels like a lot of stuff was cut towards the end a little bit. It kind of speeds up at the end a little bit.
Yeah, you fight the hordes to get, you know, the parts for the truck or the bomb you're making. So you're making a bomb to blow up the militia camp and then Rambo it.
Yeah, Rambo it. And the Schizo boss fight wasn't satisfying. The Reacher boss fight was kind of easy. The ending of that was cool when a horde was attacking you after that happened. So that was cool. And a lot of the boss fight setups were great. Like Jesse, like, oh my god, revenge. Yeah. But he was the easiest fucking person to kill.
You're just drugged a little bit. I think you had some drugs in you, and that was it. Yeah, the Schizo boss fight is maybe the most disappointing boss fight I've ever had.
And you don't even fight the Colonel.
No, it was. That's why I gave it a 6.5 out of pure frustration of not being satisfied. The Colonel, he gets poisoned by Sarah, which I think makes sense.
It's story-wise. Yeah, I get it.
The Schizo boss fight, though, this prick has put me through so much. My arm's fucking burnt because of this cocksucker.
Yeah.
And I just want to... You remember that boss fight at the beginning of God of War 3?
Yeah.
And you just beat the fuck out of Poseidon?
That was so refreshing. But you don't get that in this game. You're right.
Just something like half of that. If you give me half of that, I would have been satisfied.
Yeah,
Where
it was
isn't
really odd, and some of them seem like they have such great setups. The Jesse had such a great setup. The Reacher had a great setup. Where he's killing all these former Nero members. The last Nero member, you find him, and he says goodbye to his wife or girlfriend or whatever, and he just croaks in your arms and stuff. That was a great setup for the Reacher. Well, it ends up being just you just shoot some mindless fucking thing in the face.
Yeah. And they set up Schizo.
Yeah,
so well,
like you said,
to be
Schizo had
just,
great motivation. You want to get rid. My arm is permanently fucked up.
Yeah, just even if it would have just been like, I think God of War did a good job of it. I'm gonna keep gushing about it, but even just the simple things.
God of War. If you guys don't know, God of War series is Jay's favorite series of all time.
Yeah, it's just as simple as pressing. If they would just have me press R2 to jab the knife into his throat, just give me some kind of power instead of being a cutscene.
Let me feel it a little bit, right?
Yeah, let me be the one that kind of feels the weight of killing him, and you just don't. It's a cutscene.
Was there any other dislikes?
In
the game in general, mechanical stuff like that.
I was very disappointed with I have a 4K TV and a PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
And the frame rate would drop a lot, especially when you're going, you upgrade your bike a lot and you're going to the end. It would kind of just phase in and out, and that pissed me off a little bit.
Yeah.
But nothing glitch wise. Like, I didn't fall through a floor like you. Nothing glitch wise stopped me from. It didn't hinder the game.
Yeah.
And that's and that's great. But my biggest complaint with this game is the boss fights. I mean, if they do that better, this game is, even with the engine not being as up to snuff, this game is probably an 8.5 for me. If I just get to feel
agree. Yeah.
If I get to feel the weight of that Schizo one is going to stick with me forever.
Yeah. The only big
I just have to do one fucking roll.
Like the engine, like you said, the engine for me, boss fights the same. Not much of maybe clean up the story at the end a little bit. Like. There wasn't really much like gameplay mechanically wise. I like the crafting system a lot. I like the cool things you make in the game. Like, you can make cool Ripper weapons. You can make cool bombs. You can make some remote bombs. You can do a lot of really cool stuff. The crossbow gets really cool. Kind of, unfortunately, I did mostly towards the end because I was missing 3 ambush camps and I had to find them, and that's when I get the explosive bolt. And that could have been so much more useful if I had it earlier.
That's another thing I'll compliment them on.
The guns feel nice. I really enjoy.
For a mission that's going to be very repetitive, like going to ambush camps and taking them down, they all kind of felt different.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the ambush camps
terrains. You can, I love that. Like, you do the first couple, you just go, you just sneak in and kill everybody. Then the second one, you'll have a bear trap hidden in the bushes, or the string with the cans tied to it, and they did a good job of putting traps, and the level design was pretty good on those ambush camps.
It sounds like we gushed and disliked enough. Let's get to the ending. What about the future of Days Gone? Is there a future? Is there any DLC? I'm just gonna reiterate this. All Sony exclusives got DLC besides God of War and The Order are the only 2 that didn't. And The Order failed miserably, but I actually really enjoyed that game a lot. It ran really well. But it had its flaws because of you had the same boss battle over and over again, which I don't know why they did that. And God of War, which is one of the best games ever made. God of War 4 is one of the best games ever made. Didn't get any DLC. They're going right into God of War 5. Corey already said that he had a bunch of ideas, but he's like, let's just put them in the next game, which makes sense.
Yeah.
They're probably already 2 years into God of War 5 already, I bet.
Somewhere, yeah.
And also, the O'Brien, the end of the O'Brien mission really kind of sets up potential sequel of Nero being the main baddie and going to their headquarters and stuff. But what do you think? Do you think there's any DLC? I know it sold really well in Europe and stuff. Do you think any Days Gone 2? And I just want to also make this known. If you guys don't know who Sony Ben is, they made the Siphon Filter games. And the last game they made before Days Gone was Uncharted Golden Abyss for PlayStation Vita.
One of them.
2011. In 2011. So this was their first game since 2011. I think they did really well for the hardware they had. They could have done a little bit better. Same thing with the guys that did the Order. They were...
That's Sony Santa Monica, isn't it?
No, Ready at Dawn. They did the PSP God of Wars.
Yes.
And then they went on to do the Order, and I think they really, like, story-wise, character-wise, had really great potential there, but they never got a sequel. And, they were known for doing handhelds like Daxter and stuff like that, and they did a great job with all the handhelds. So I just want to, say that, not to give them an excuse, because this game definitely had some issues, but I really like this world, and I like to see if they get a chance to go forward. Like I said, if they get a second start with PlayStation 5 and get a chance where people get more chance to play this game again, that runs better, runs smoother, maybe it will. Maybe there is DLC in the works. There was some, I think, some rumor channels going around on YouTube saying there is DLC of, like, new Freakers and stuff like that. But where do you want to see it to go, or are you just satisfied with this, or you want to see Sony Bend kind of go back to Siphon Filter? Because a lot of people do. A lot of people want to see a more, Siphon Filter come back.
I never played the Siphon Filter games.
Oh, man, you should... If you can,
or maybe I
Siphon
played
Filter
2.
One's super cheap on PS3.
Yeah.
Download it for like $1 or whatever, and it has one of the coolest game mechanics. You have a taser that basically makes you Spider-Man, and literally you can taser a guy on the roof until they set on fire and fall. And my friends and I remember, shout out to my buddy Mitch, fan of the channel. One of his birthday parties, we played Siphon Filter, and that's all we did was just taser people until they just burned to death. Like, we were sick kids, it's just how it was. We found it funny as shit that you could literally, this guy's like 15 feet up in the air, and you could taser him all the way up there and kill him until he burned. So Siphon Filter was a really fun espionage series, kind of like Metal Gear and, what's the other one?
Splinter Cell?
Splinter Cell, yeah, like Splinter Cell. Which might make some news in our prediction show, but that'd be easy. You guys, any GG and friends that are watching this, I want you guys to swing for the fences on the E3 prediction show. I don't want no baby, easy ones. You can have a couple safe ones, but you better bring it. I want some crazy-ass, out of the world, out of the line predictions for the prediction show. I want some crazy-ass ones. But what do you think of the future of Days Gone, JJ?
I think they got some. I think with, it being revealed at the end that O'Brien is a freaker.
Yeah. That they're evolving, right? The Freakers are evolving to a higher
all the
form.
Nero guys are... I'm assuming all the people in hazmat suits are freakers.
And he said they're coming, too. He said Nero's coming.
But, yeah. I think there can be a future for this game.
Are you open to the idea of DLC, like story DLC?
Yeah,
like, what could they do anyway? Maybe past? Maybe future?
Yeah, you could go...
Because the ending, he basically becomes Iron Mike, and he's kind of running the camp.
Yeah. I think I would like back when he's in the MC, kind of running around. I'd like to see more of that, maybe.
You want to see Jack? They always talk about Jack, and we haven't seen
the little
Jack.
puppy's cute. But, like, kind of see what happens to Jesse, why he's kicked out of the club.
Yeah,
and
why,
shit.
I could also, I would like to
the
see future. How the camp is done after a year after or something. And maybe this new freaker comes out of nowhere and starts wrecking havoc. And then the whole story, the whole DLC revolves around stopping, like, this new, like, maybe giant freaker or something. Like some Bigfoot freaker or some shit. Something like that. Maybe like a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, well, damn it, Far Cry keeps teasing it, and I'm tired of them teasing it. Put damn Bigfoot in the game so I can kill it.
He's in Red Dead.
I would like to see some DLC. I really enjoyed this game. JJ really enjoyed this game. get it when it's on sale. Give it a shot. Actually, it's going to be on sale for
Days of
E3,
Play.
right?
Days of Play, starting June 7th.
2 days from now. 3 days from now.
I think whatever the Days of Play are.
Yeah.
God of War, if you
Around
haven't played it
E3.
yet. Yeah. God of War, Days Gone, Spider-Man, I think they're all going to be $20.
Go pick
Or
it
right
up.
around.
It's worth $20. It's a really fun game. I'm not saying necessarily listen to our review but just what we do is we just
We're
kind of
kind of gushy.
Just go have some fun.
Yeah.
Give it a shot for $20.
Yeah, don't break
It's a really fun game.
If you're a very narrative-driven game fan, pick this up. If you're a trophy hunter, this is any of the Sony exclusives right now. You'll get a platinum easy. They're not
they're
hard.
kind of pretty easy to play. I'm kind of shocked. So,
yeah.
What we got coming up? I want to shout out to my cousin JJ. Love you very much. Thanks for helping me out. We're gonna probably live stream right after this. We're gonna go right on Twitch. So follow us down below on Twitch. I'm gonna live stream all the E3 events. We're gonna have our E3 prediction show Friday night. So come check it out. Tomorrow is a Pokemon Direct. I will have a live reaction. But to be honest with you, I probably will not be up at 9 a.m. in the morning. But we'll live stream it anyway. It'll be a video that we can live stream and talk and check it out. So hopefully I won't be super spoiled on that. We'll react to that. So that'll probably be the video for that. But make sure you sub to the channel. Shout out to all our new subs again. Fairy Dust, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that subbed for the Mortal Kombat reaction. Shout out to everybody in the chat. LG, Joel, Seth, everybody that's going to watch this video later. Days Gone, it was a really fun experience. It's Sons of Anarchy mixed with Walking Dead in a lot of ways, with a sprinkle of Red Dead.
If you like some aspects of Red Dead,
yeah,
you'll like some aspects of this.
But we hope to see you guys really soon, not only on this channel, on our Twitch channel, which is about to be up right now. We really appreciate all of you. Shout out to JJ. Love you very much. Thank you so much for helping me. But for your fellow Straussman, the GG, and JJ, we're outie.
Peace.